Hi, this is Reese from CreataCRM, and this is again the sales module, but we're looking at the quote section. Now, this is the one that has the heavy lifting, or a lot of people go on this section itself. It's used quite a bit. It's almost most people will use the quote section in the sales module. So why it's got so many elements that we have. So I want to go through it a bit and go through the quoting section. Now, this will be probably split into a number of videos. As there's so much to go through. And so for this video, I'm going to go through the overview of the quote section. If you looked at the other videos, you're going to find that this is going to have a lot of similar stuff, but we'll still go through it. The first section we're going to have with the quote section is you've got the sales dashboard. So it's in this section again, sales dashboard, and you can look it up. So this first view, you've got the number, quote date. It's not the create date, it's a quote date, but it's a similar thing. Quote status, for those, you've got the quote status by clicking on the 4 accounts. Now, by default, the quotes are go into here, lost, draft, current, and one. You can change your own status. And there is a need for changing your own status, and that's usually when you're wanting to have extra type of things. One, if you if you want to make it you're doing multiple quotes on an opportunity, you want to have it as primary one or something else to say, and another status that you have. And we do break each status into when lost sections for reports as well, but this is the first one itself. You've got the company contacts, and you also have the email status sent in here, and that there is if you send it out, and that's very important because sometimes you do quotes and you go, and we send it out through our SMTP system, we will tell you that it has been sent. That's very important. In the marketing module, which is in the section over here, we can cover through. We do have our clicks and opens, so in the status will change to it has been opened, and also if it has bounced, it's going to tell you. So that's the other thing really important. If you find you send a quote out and it's bounced, in our marketing module, it's telling you it's bounced. So it'll give you some more extra elements to help you out as well. Then you've got the actual close date. So if you, for example, mark it as one loss. So if I go down here and change the status in here, and I make it lost, and I put actual close date in here. Reason for it being lost is because yada yada yada. You'll get used to my stuff. It will put a lost date here of the 22nd. Then you've got the amounts across here. We've got the chat section here. I looked at other videos one because there's a lot of stuff to go through. So you can chat internally about the quote, where it's up to. Again, here you've got the follow-up task. That's important. You can create a task, test, task, and you can make that obviously tomorrow, and quick task, and that will create a task, and there's a flag there saying it's a yellow task there. Now the other things you have is the great thing about this dashboard, it actually tells you everything about the opportunity and where it's up to. So one is that if you send it to MYOB or 0 or whatever it is, or reckon or whatever it is, it tells you you've sent it across. So I can say I've sent this across. With the M there, it shows you what it is. Now we can, in these settings, you can do from quote into our system, and we can create a sales order or an invoice depending where you want to go, your personal choice. So we can, when you hover over here, see here, this one says sales order, where this one itself is sales order, this one is invoice. So that's it, an invoice. If I click on that, that shows you the actual invoice that we send, and that's an MYOB, and that means that you can, when they do pay, it shows you that the pay. Since it's saying it's got unpaid, we do sync the data every couple of hours. So what happens if they do pay that invoice? It will show up as paid. So therefore, when you go into the system here, and you hover over to that particular invoice, that it will show you that it's paid somewhere here. It's marked as paid, and so it will show it there. So that's pretty cool there. So that is the columns in this quote dashboard. Again, you've got the same elements. You have reports in here, so you've got the quote status report here that can be emailed you weekly into the system, so it shows you the dashboard and the percentages and nice colored report sent to yourself that you can opt into for your report side of the fence. So that in itself is the first section of the quote. Now what we're going to do is now create a new quote in the system. So I'm going to, just for the heck of it this time around, I'm just going to click on the new button up here just for the heck of it. You can click on the new button here, or I'm just going to do up here, new quote, and here's the view of the actual quote itself. So the first section you want to do is type in the customer itself. So I'm going to type in CreataCRM. It's going to build, you can search a contact or a company. It's going to both build those two things up. Similar to the currency packages where you can see Reese's the actual person from Creator or Creator itself. So we can wire those two things up, and there they are. They're going to link them across. The next thing it will do, it will build the billing address and shipping address across. You can click on the drop-down menu and see other addresses. The great thing we have unlimited addresses you can put into. So that means is that you have the ability to put locations in the system. So you can have 10 or 15 locations that you can have a drop-down menu to say what the billing address. That's probably more important if you are doing drop shipping. You can select the location that you want to drop to, or you can just simply edit this little pencil and type in a new location, and you can save the shipping address or the location to that company itself or the contact itself. So that helps you there. So you can do some drop shipping, attention to, send to this person as well, and it saves that location as well for you to reference next time around as well. That is also really cool when you can when you save all these locations to a particular company and you go, oh wow, what was that location I did? You can go to the company section and see all the locations that you have. So there's a lot of little cool stuff that has been feature requested in our system. There's a quote that you have. You can change the quote date on here if you want to. There is a set create date on there that we have that you can't change, but this occasion you can change the quote date. So we gave a little freedom where people go, no, I need a quote date, but I need to change it to a certain month for KPIs and those things as well. So some sales guys need to do that where they got the quote itself, but it needed to be the next financial month or the previous financial month. We give that freedom for those people as well. But we do have a create date, just in case that the people abuse the system. We can tell you. Sales, the sales rep is just the owners, and we can just say change it to sales rep. Terms. Now we build that into the accounting system, so this stuff comes from the accounting system anyway. So helps out there. We have a default section. You can say mark this as a default for every new quote, but again, it does bring from the accounting systems itself. This one is 30 days from the following month, or 0 days in here as well. Ship method, we know that in here. So you've got the shipping, that is shipping. You can add more if you want to. Be careful to add that, it could lose work. So we're going to Australian Post. Valid tool. Now there is a setting in here that you can create, that creates it. By default is 30 days. I think this has gone to valid tool today, but you can change valid tool a certain date as well. Now we do price books. So CreataCRM has got big discounts in that price book, so you can, when you there's another topic on there that you can talk about price books and price lists. Price lists is that you can create unlimited price lists in the system, and you can have a price list per person, or you can build multiple price lists and link to many people. But this CreataCRM is linked to big discount price list, and we can cover that in another topic, but that's pretty powerful. Now scroll down here. You've got add the lines in here. You've got 3 options here. You've got add line, add bulk, and add bundle. We'll go through that. The add line section in here, you have a product service. Now, just to let you know, you can customize your columns, and this is, again, we're not going to go through every scenario right now. It's up to 10 minutes coming up, so this is just to do the 1, 2, 3 scenarios, and then we'll get into the deeper stuff. but you can customize your columns, and everyone wants something different all the time. We have probably rarely find someone wanting, the same columns is kind of getting out there. So we've had to customize the columns and make it very powerful. Now, accounting systems don't do that. MYB puts them into layouts, and you get what you get. Again, we do a lot more scenarios. So there's a lot of stuff in this. This is why it's probably going to cover into 3 videos on the stuff to cover all the scenarios that we have to talk about. And the reason why we do that is because everyone in this section have different demands. So yes, we can show you an onboarding is important. So we listen to what you need to do, and then we customize. When we say customize, we go, okay, do it this way scenario. But with quoting, there's 40,000 different scenarios we're finding, exaggeration, but we've just got to listen to what you're trying to achieve, and then say this is how you can do it in our system. Why onboarding is important for us. So the product service, we can do this. Now we can customize this drop down menu. So at the moment it's showing you images in here, but we can customize these elements. So at the moment it's showing product name, product item, the price, and units you've got there, but we can customize each section. So at the moment there's an icon there that you can have. That's an example, but you can have a long customized list views, like QuickBooks Online has another cool stuff in there that people expect behaviors, and other people MYB have different ways to do stuff. So choose the amount, the description comes, the quantity comes in here. So with 33 of those, brings the amounts in here and brings it across as well. So you've got the add bulk section. We've got the add bundle. In one of the videos we go through this, so you can say, so the add bundle is like a very good quote template methodology. I'll really quickly go through it. You can say, I want 2 of those, and it will just bang, create all these quotes. It's a good way of creating quote templates in here and then bundling it to special unit measures, and bang, here's all the quotes in here. So you've got the quotes were created from the bundles. You can do groups in here. We won't cover that fully now, and you got comments in here. You can do the drop down menus, and you can pre-set comments similar to MYB. What they have, you can just generally make comments in here, and save and view. Okay, great. So what you've got in this layout is the quote itself. From here, you've got little extra things. Again, you can go customize columns where you say, look, I don't want to show cost each or cost amounts, and apply this. So this setting is connected to you, and you see you can customize what you see. The other things you've got here is that this is really important for what I wrote this section here, because we started to realize when you're setting into the accountancy system, there's a number of rules to be applied. So what we wanted to do is make it sure most of our clients don't know what inventory is and non-inventory is and all these other things. So what we started to find out is that the similar questions we get all the time is we get reordering issues with MYB. So for this one here, when we hover over here, we can say this is an inventory item. So that means is that if you send the if you can send this as a sales order, but if you send it as an invoice, it's not, and the on hand is 0, it's not going to be, you can't do it. So a lot of our clients send the this quote is the invoice, and they can't do it, and they go, why? And they go at us, and we go because it's inventory, and you can't, because there's inventory can't go negative, so it's stopping you. So they go, so for them we then hover and say, hey, look, you're reordering 0, but we can see in the system this is the reordering column in MYB that you can have, and that means that you should order it right now. The last update is when it's synced, so you can see here it gives you all the information in front of you here. So this one is active. I don't buy it, I sell it, so it's really a non-inventory part in there, and there's no counts, and off it goes. So that kind of helps you out with that. Other elements here, we'll probably with the other videos, we'll cross information in this as well. it's showing you can send to all these templates. You can have templates with emails, you can different type of formats, your sign-off page, and you can print the documents out here as well. Okay, so that video on quotes itself. We'll cover a lot more very shortly in the next video itself, but that's the quote section, and we'll just keep on going with that and showing all the other extra stuff with it as well. So we'll go to the next one, and we'll slow it down a bit to give you more information about the quote sections. Talk to you soon.